Hey beautiful people, I actually would have made this video yesterday, but I was doing some pretty cool stuff. Can't talk about it too much, but you'll see very soon. Almost exactly a year ago, we were talking about Blackmagic camera mods. Of course, this was before the 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙 was announced. To be honest, after the 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙 came out, I didn't really forget about all the mods, but I was kind of like, well, those projects were awesome, but I'm guessing they're gonna kind of come to a halt. But do you remember this one? The Nexus G1. My boy Thomas has been busy. And just a day or two ago, he released this video as an update to his project, but I have questions, I have concerns. Let's go through the video and talk about it. All right, so we can definitely see a much more refined design here, and boy, has this gotten crazy. They're still sticking with the Super 35 version of the 6K. So this isn't the full frame 6K camera from Blackmagic. Did you see that already? So one of the big standout features here is going to be all about the mounts. Now there's a lot of cinema cameras nowadays that you can switch out between PL, EF, L. One of the unique design features of this is this auto locking mechanism, which apparently allows you to have a micro 4/3 mount, and then on top of that, easily hot swap between PL, EF, and even a speed booster version, giving you essentially a full frame EF. So there's the Super 35 version, there's the EF speed booster full frame. But my biggest question when it comes to this auto lock thing is, if I go back here, that little blue button up there seems to be how you essentially push to release the mount and then swap it out, which seems cool. However, I hope there is some sort of fail-safe or extra step. Like, I get for the video, you make it look like, oh, just push the button and then swap the lens mount. But in practical use, I hope it's not that easy, because I could just see, never mind like amateurs, like anyone who just doesn't know this camera could walk by and maybe you ask them to like, hey, turn on the camera, and they may go, oh, maybe it's this blue power button on the side of it. Push it, and if you have a heavy cinema lens on it, the whole mount just like falls off with your lens attached to it. So hopefully they can clear that up, and that it's actually not just push the button real simple and your whole mount and lens falls off and stuff. That's honestly one of my few and biggest concerns. I was in LA for 4 days and my lips just get so dry, and that's so painful. And I believe this is a different design from the screen from last year, and I am loving it. So they're essentially taking the 5-inch 1600, 1500 nit screen off the back of the pocket, putting it in their own housing, and then doing a similar thing to the 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙, where they're having a single cable that's gonna supply power and video transmission to the monitor from the camera. It does seem like a proprietary cable, but because it still has somewhat of a cable attached to it, you can then mount the monitor wherever you want. I feel like I've never seen that cable before, so maybe they're coming out with their own proprietary EVF, or I don't know. 2 full-size XLRs, just like the Ursa Mini Pro. And so this is a huge bump up over the 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙 with a single mini XLR port on the front. We get 2 USB Type-C headphone audio out, and we can swap between SDI, LEMO, and what was the other one? A couple extra DTAP ports. And then we still have the ability to record to SSD, an SD card, CFast, or they're coming out with their own SSD. I'm guessing some sort of like M.2 variation, or maybe even NVMe. I know right now I'm just going through the video and kind of speculating on some stuff, but after the video in a minute, we're gonna go to the website and dive into more of the details, and they even for the first time have some pricing details for us, so stay tuned. But first, I just want to give a shout out to Artlist. For the last year or two, even before I ever started working with them as a partner, I've been using Artlist in pretty much all my videos. Their library just keeps growing, and it's got a great balance of stuff that's great for content creation, professional work. So I'm literally editing the video that you're watching right now, and now's the point where I need to find music for it. So I've got Artlist pulled up, and one of the reasons I think you can find music so much faster on Artlist compared to other sites is because when you go to preview the music, it doesn't start all the music at the first second, because so many of these tracks take a little bit to build. And so then you're just clicking around the song trying to find the real flavor or to figure out the main vibe of the track that you're listening to. But on Artlist, if we look, we can see all the different highlighted areas on these different tracks right here. And so as I go through to preview them, they are going to play right at the, I'm guessing, where the artist chooses kind of the main hype point, or maybe these are the most popular parts of the song. I don't know how they choose, but they choose correctly because I can sift through all these tracks so much faster. And did you know They added LUTs. Everyone loves LUTs. So now you can go to Artlist, get yourself some LUTs. If you're interested in learning more about Artlist and want to check out the libraries for yourself, check out more details in the link in the description below. In this part I love, they essentially put a NPF battery on the bottom for redundancy, allowing you to hot swap V mounts on the back. So you can have different size V mounts on the back to give you really long battery life. But when that battery goes to die, the camera can still remain on, even recording, because it will switch to the NPF battery. And I know a lot of people seem to either love or hate this design with kind of the overhang. I personally really like it because it kind of allows you to throw on a V-mount, but then still keep the box shape. I don't know, I'm a fan of this design. Again, just sticking with the uniqueness. They got built-in fizz power. I don't exactly know like how this is gonna work. Like I get how they would get power to the accessories, but like I don't know if it's going to be like tightly integrated with, you know, DJI gimbals or the DJI Focus Pro, I should say. But you know, they're built in. It's one less thing to power. Electronic ND module. Definitely the biggest thing missing from the Pixis is any sort of internal ND, and this takes it one step further with an electronic ND. And I'm still fully understanding the system, but it seems like you can do a mix of things. You can go actual stops where it's like, I want 2 stops ND, I want 4 stops. You can go between 2 and 7, I believe, but it also can allow for smooth transition between those. So for example, on my Pocket 6K Pro, here I have 2, 4, and 6 stops of ND, but if I hit the button, you can actually see the different ND coming down, and obviously it ruins the shot, right? You can't really do that in the middle of a take, but NDs like this, if you were to start inside a building and then walk out, you could actually have the ND kind of smoothly increase in intensity so that you don't even notice it during the shot, and you don't have to adjust any other parameters of your camera. So if this works, that's even better than the system that's in the 6K Pro. Now this top screen is going to be where the menu is, and this is completely overriding, from the looks of it, the OS of Blackmagic in kind of their own custom setup. They got physical buttons still, but it's just a beautiful design. And oh my God, they made a hand grip. I want it. It's got a focus wheel built into it. That's such a cool design. It's got all the important buttons on top. They're just still going. It's got built-in 15mm rods that slide out of the bottom of the camera, and then you just lock it in with an Allen key. I would love if it was toolless, but maybe you can hide that Allen key somewhere in the body. You got 1/4-20s, you got 3/8 all over the place. You can still mount things if you want to. And here's my favorite part. Yes! Genius move at the end, because we've all seen these render videos, and although this is just a couple seconds of real footage and it's not being used, all the features aren't being displayed, it's a step in the right direction that at least a prototype has indeed been made. It looks exactly like the render. They show the battery being put on. I wish they would show off the mounts being swapped. Ah, I don't see the blue button. Where's the blue button? Where's the quick release? Oh, maybe, oh, because this one doesn't have the quick release on it. That's why, duh. So now let's go to the website and dive into pricing and some other specs that aren't mentioned in the video. And the majority of this website is basically just re-explaining what is shown off in the video. And for those of you who don't know, before you comment that Blackmagic's just gonna sue them out the butt and like shut this project down, Thomas made it very clear last year when the project first started that not only was Blackmagic okay with this happening, but they clearly are giving support. And I don't know if he's getting just a bunch of Pocket 6Ks on the cheap, taking them apart and then, you know, rehousing them into his new system. I don't know if they're just giving him the sensors. I don't know what the arrangement is. And so this potentially could be an advantage to people who don't want the latest Blackmagic cameras because they don't shoot ProRes. Because we're using the 6K Super 35 camera, you will both get B-RAW and ProRes. So that's great. So here's a better breakdown of all the different ports. So we have DTAP, which that part you can be swapped out for LEMO. You have 2 USB-C ports. One is for the SSD. That one will output enough to record to an SSD. The other one looks like an accessory. At the front, you have another USB-C power. And then you have the 3 USB-C fizz controls. Again, that'll be interesting to see how that actually interfaces, what brands it works with, and so on. Touch monitor output, full-size HDMI output, and EVF output. Again, I love the full-size XLRs. Got phantom powers, high-quality preamps. The built-in 15mm rods is just, that's like, you can tell this is made by filmmakers for sure. And then they have a secondary 4-inch touchscreen, for all the essential settings, as well as physical buttons, which we all know is super important. I like touchscreen, but also physical buttons. Again, here's a breakdown of all the different battery options you can do. So pause this if you want to read more. All the different types of drives you can record to. It looks like their max drive that they're putting together themselves has a peak speed of 520 megabytes per second. Pretty fast. And here we go. Expected price. I can imagine some of these will change. So the Founders Edition, which just usually means if you buy it in the first month or some sort of period, or the first, 100 units, whatever it is, you can actually get this for under $3,000. This is pretty shocking. I think most of us, a lot of the comments on my last video and even the comments of this new video from Nexus, I saw people being like, oh, this is going to cost around 10 grand, 8 to 10 grand, somewhere in that price point. But even if you look at the normal price, 3,300 bucks, this is a steal. This is a fantastic kind of homage to Blackmagic's way of thinking, of putting so much value into a smaller package for a very, very fair price. If this camera ends up doing, and I'm not saying it is, I understand I'm hyped right now, but there is zero sponsorship happening. There's no official anything. I have, besides whatever little AdSense money this video makes, I am gaining nothing from talking about this and hyping it up. I am just genuinely so excited about this project, and I really hope it continues to the point where we can see these price points be pretty damn close to what they are advertising. Get the rods, you get DaVinci Resolve software license. Okay, so they definitely have to just be getting a bunch of 6Ks from Blackmagic, and then it comes with the code. But you get a $300 DaVinci Resolve Studio license with this. So again, it's the same value. In terms of the purchasing what you get, the only still debate is kind of the warranty, which I don't know if they talk about on here yet. But I would be fascinated to know if they're going to offer any sort of warranty, or obviously this isn't warranted by Blackmagic, but, and here we go. Here's all the upgrade modules. We can see the auto lock 250, the electronic ND 380. Personally, I think that's great. Yes, it's pretty pricey. It's pricier than a ND filter you're going to screw on the front of your lens. Well, not all of them, but you can definitely get cheaper, but built-in internal electronic NDs. I think anyone who's buying a camera like this would happily pay $380 for that. It looks like the mounts are still to be determined on the pricing. SDI 180, a 1 terabyte SSD from them. Their max drive is 250. I added everything up earlier, and if you bought everything here that at least has a price to it, because again, we have no idea what the PL or the EF full frame speed booster equivalent stuff is. But if you added everything that has a price point, you're sitting at around $5,000. I think it was like 4,700 US. So you're sitting in like Komodo territory at that point, and you're getting B-RAW, ProRes. It's a true Blackmagic sensor, so you already know you're going to get an amazing image. We know the image that is coming out of this camera. Oh look, there's some FAQs. Did this answer any of our questions? I was just about to say, when is this thing going to launch? We're aiming to complete R&D and start manufacturing Q1 of 2025. Deliveries Q2. Honestly, that's getting pretty close. Okay, what is Blackmagic's involvement? We are totally independent. Blackmagic is not involved in the project. However, they approved the project, and their very helpful support staff have assisted with technical queries. Oh, and they answered the warranty. What is the warranty? Nexus cameras will offer a 12-month worldwide repair or replacement warranty on all cameras and accessories. There's going to be a lot of fine print to that, but that's great. That's great that it comes with a warranty. I think 1-year warranty from a small independent company, that's fair. I will take that. I have had very few camera issues over the years, but when I do, it's always within the first, honestly, weeks, but maybe months of using it. After that, it's usually because, a camera's dropped, bumped, or some sort of accidental error. Is Nexus Cameras an authorized Blackmagic design dealer? I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, so this is how it kind of works, is Blackmagic essentially approves projects. Awesome. That answers a lot of the questions, honestly. Great website. And you can sign up for the waitlist to get more updates. So there you have it, guys. That is the update on the Nexus G1. Let me know your thoughts down below. I gotta say, I am re-hyped all over again. Listen, as a guy rocking 2 Pixieses, I am so hyped for this project, because not only is it showing that small independent creators and designers and manufacturers can make something truly incredible. We see a prototype. I would love to see videos of a working prototype. Amazing job on the design improvements. It seems like you have taken every possible feature that a indie filmmaker could possibly want And if you're aiming for Q2 deliveries, it's about to get cooking here. Thank you all for watching. See you guys in the next video.